right, so here we go. Okay, Trisha, this is with you. Tommy, could you put this up with her, please? That's Daniela, the one above Daniela. There you go. Hi, Trish.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, okay. I just want you to listen to me, okay? All right. Sometimes, not often, but sometimes, people have pressure in the head. Yes? I mean, people get headaches. People can fall down a flight of stairs. I mean, I'm not talking about a garden variety. I have a migraine because Robert's talking to me and he's driving me nuts headache. I'm not referring to that. But would you know the person connected through your family that had either a hemorrhage behind the eye or a swelling in the brain wall? Yes, ma'am.
I don't.
No one didn't have an aneurysm or a stroke in the head.
My mom had 2 aneurysms.
Okay. Okay. Don't tell me anything else.
Okay.
Respectfully, has your mom crossed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're a young woman, right? I mean, give me a break. I'm in my, I'm an older guy. My mother died at 90, right? So my father was almost 94 when he died,
That's awesome.
right? Yeah. So I had some tenure in my family. My mother-in-law died at 96. Okay. So gently. If you said back to me, Robert, my mother drowned at Jones Beach, what are you talking about? Right? This would not be your mom. Would you know? They want me to talk about an aneurysm or the rupturing. So respectfully, how do you know medically that your mom had aneurysm?
Well, she had an aortic.
I can barely hear you, sweetheart.
Oh, she had an aortic aneurysm. One in her heart and one in the belly, but nothing in the brain.
Okay, I believe you. I believe you. I believe you. I believe you. I'm going to push this. Are you sure in the family, not just your mother? Just stay with me. Did somebody have either loss of eyesight or pressure in the eye wall?
I have a very good friend who's like a sister to me that has that problem.
Okay, stay with me. Don't go further. Is she still here?
Yes.
Stay with me. All right. I'm asking that question to be efficient with the work, but I'm asking that question for a reason. Does anybody know why I asked her that question? No. Because to say that her mom, who was crossed over, is watching her, witnessing her, seeing her. When was the last time your girlfriend, who has severe eye pressure or swelling behind the eyes or some kind of a disease driving the eyes into blindness, something similar, when was the last time you saw her or spoke to her?
A few months ago.
Why do you remember that?
I haven't seen her in a few months, but we speak probably weekly.
Let me ask you the question again, then. Let me restate it. Okay. Now, if she lives in Nevada, you don't see it, right? I'm just making that place up. When was the last time you spoke to the woman that had serious eye issues?
About 4 days ago.
Why do you remember her?
Because she's like family to me.
Do you remember what you had for lunch that day?
No.
Oh, so you don't remember what you had for lunch 4 days ago, but you remember speaking to her, yes?
Yes.
That's why your mother's not asking me to mention lunch to you. Your mother's solely saying, tell my daughter I witnessed her around somebody who was going blind or has got very challenging eye issues, maybe dark sunglasses, maybe eye patches, may have had retinal surgery, may have some kind of iris infection, some kind of corneal issues, something in the eye. Yes?
Yes.
And it's not one eye, it's both, no?
Yes.
So it wasn't like she was shot with a rubber band as a child that has a bad eye or a gimpy eye. This is double illness here, yes?
Yes.
You know much about her without telling me?
What's that?
You know much about your girlfriend's condition without telling me?
Yes.
You know if they're telling her it's progressing?
I am not sure about that. I know she's been having issues lately. It was subsided for a while and now she's having issues again.
It's back, but it has to be eye-based.
Yes,
Yes? And if your mother had a ruptured aortic aneurysm, or your mother had surgery for an aneurysm in her aortic tract, whether ascending or descending aorta, or your mother had an abdominal aneurysm as well, yes?
yes, both.
This is her we call these her identifiers. As I just shared a minute or two ago, you could have said, Robert, no, 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 no. My mother died at 9/11. I don't know what you're talking about, Rob. You're just telling me something. I don't buy it. Listen to this, Trish. Ready?
Mhm.
I mean, I'm an older dude. Back when I was in high school, back when I was in college, not so much college, but in high school for sure. A lot of men wore these big identification bracelets. They had like their name, they had these heavy links. You don't really, I mean, they're out there, I guess, but they're not in vogue anymore. It seemed like everybody I went to high school with got one for Christmas or their birthday, or their girlfriend gave it to them with their name or some shit on it. And that's what they had. Right?
Mhm.
I'm not saying do they still exist. I'm sure they still exist, but I may have had one when I was like in 7th grade or something. I know my father never did. My brothers never did. I may have had one. You would slide it in, pull out the thing, but that's it. Look like a little dog. Don't tell me, don't tell me. I yell at you. If you do work like this, never let it become an interview. Never. And if you allow for that stuff, understand you're about to be hustled. Make no mistake. Respectfully, is there someone else in your family that currently wears an ID bracelet, or you have one of theirs, or they still wear one?
I have my father's.
Respectfully, crossed over?
Yes.
Okay. Daniela, put Daniela back on for a minute, Tom. What's happening, Danny?
You what's the word? You not verification. What's the word I want to say?
Validation.
Validation. She's
Why
getting
are these validations about her family?
why are the validations about her family? Because only she would know those things.
Yes, yes. So her dad is saying, I'm the one that's crossed, but she'll know the ID bracelet my daughter has of mine. Yes. Yes. Not that she have just a piece of jewelry, which everyone throws around. When someone dies that you love very much, mother, brother, father, sister, husband, you're going to have something in 99 times out of 100 that they own and is kept as a keepsake. Yes? So when someone says, do you have a piece of clothing? Do you have a piece of jewelry? The odds of you not having anything are extremely remote. Right? Trish, listen to this. Listen carefully, please. They're making me feel somebody was placed in the hospital. Yes? Trisha? Yes? And either they signed themselves out or they refused to go. Who's the one that was taken to the hospital and says, I want to go home. I'm not staying here? Oh, yes, ma'am. Did someone get to the emergency room and say, get me the hell out of here, just take me home, I'll feel better on my own, I don't need to do this? I'm positive. Are you sure? Oh my God, yes. If you tell me no, Trish, tell me no.
Someone who passed or someone still alive?
Alive.
Oh, yes.
All right, hang in for a minute. You have to be a little nuts. Hold on. You have to be a little crazy to want to go into a hospital. I mean, who the hell wants to go into a hospital unless you're a woman having a baby? I mean, I can't think of any other reason why you want to go. And you got to be a little nuts to want to go to the hospital. Let you work there and you like your job. But other than that, who the hell wants to go into the hospital? Right?
Right.
I'm only going to point back to myself now. I've had some medical issues over my years, and I knew when things were not right. I would say to my wife, take me to the hospital. I want to go. I need to go. And sure enough, I would be right. I would go. They would do whatever they did. And the next thing I know, I'm having surgery. Right? Okay. So you understand me so far?
Yes.
Okay. But other than that, most people don't want to go. Right? In your world, as we speak, who was supposed to go to the hospital? They were either refuses to go or is kicking and screaming to go. Who's this?
My stepdaughter who's an addict.
Okay, stay with me. Don't give me information. Don't do that. Don't give me that little piece. So if the man you've married, which is a clue because you said stepdaughter, yes? You said stepdaughter,
Yes.
right? Stop doing this. And she herself has got recovery issues. And her husband, your husband, her dad, possibly you personally, other people are trying to get her to go back into treatment. And she's refusing. I don't want to go back. I have to eat the stupid food. I don't want to wear the damn bathrobe. I don't want to sit with the counselors. I'm up to here with this crap. I'm not doing it. When did that take place, young lady?
All the time.
Okay. Did you try to get her admitted over the last few days? Last week?
Couple weeks.
So in the last couple of weeks, you tried to have your stepdaughter admitted for addiction issues. Yeah. You spoke to a woman 4 days ago who was going blind or has terrible blind issues or eyesight struggles. Your father had this reference to the identification bracelet, which you have in your home. Yes?
Yes.
And by the way, when was the last time you touched your father's ID bracelet?
Couple months ago.
Closer than that. You didn't see it in his jewelry drawer. You don't have it in your sock drawer. You didn't take a look at it and hold it recently.
No.
Okay, I'm going to disagree. That's fine. I could be wrong. I'm not perfect. I disagree. But he keeps jingling it in my head. Now, who is James? Or Jack?
James is my husband.
I can't hear you.
James, my second husband.
Is that the guy you're married to now? Or is that number 3?
No, there is no number 3. Number 2.
I'm just asking.
No.
Is the man you're married to now, James?
Yes.
Is his daughter the one that has drug issues?
Yes.
Why the hell would I mention the name James? I don't know you. Which means your parents, both who love you, know you're married to James. Right?
Yes.
And to say you're married to James, you might say everybody's got a James. But none of my children are James. No brothers of mine are James. No wife, well, obviously no wife of mine is James or Jamie or any variation thereof. It's a nice name, but it's your husband's name, yes or no?
Yes.
And can I say something to you? If you don't mind, then I'm going to move, all right? I'm going to try to jump. This is a little sensitive. Is that okay? Oh, there's 2 pieces here. Okay, just hear me out. Respectfully, did your parents discourage you from marrying your first husband?
My first husband? No, they didn't.
Well, this guy.
This guy? Yes.
I'll wait.
Well, he was my first kiss. But my
I'm going to say something to you. I'm going to say something.
Want me dating him.
I'm going to say something to you. I'm going to say something. If this is okay. All right? You can just tell me I don't want to talk to you anymore. Sometimes people get married to the wrong person. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. You know, if you're young, you're all full of butterflies and flowers and you're just like this, passions flowing, all of the stuff that happens as a young person, you may wind up in your heart saying, this is really my guy. But deep down, you're saying, that guy in high school, the guy I went to college with, the guy I worked in Baskin Robbins with, the guy I knew from the landscaper, I'm really with him emotionally, but either he wandered or I couldn't get to him or timing was bad and I wanted to get married and you wind up marrying husband number 1. It doesn't work out, right?
He was wonderful.
Okay,
He was the
but
best thing that ever happened to me.
it's husband number one,
Mhm.
right?
Yes,
But James, did you know James before him?
yes,
That's my point. So if you met James completely by surprise after your first husband either passed or you split up, right? Your husband died, yes?
yes,
Oh, I'm sorry. So if your first husband crossed over and now you want to have a family, you want to continue, you meet another guy who was your high school sweetheart or something, and you wind up marrying this guy. Yes?
yes,
Whose name is James, yes?
yes.
Yes. And if your parents were around, or your mother was here, or your father was here when you said, I'm going to get remarried, are you sure there was no caution flags about this guy?
My parents were both gone at that time.
Who warned you not to marry him?
A couple of people.
Why? You don't have to be personal with us. You have to be
He had a
personal.
lot of baggage, but it worked.
Okay, okay. I'm not saying he's a bad man, but I'm saying is the topic, I'm hearing this vibe from your parents saying others were trying to tell her not to marry him.
Right.
And with respect to you, you turn around and marry him. Apparently it's working out okay, and I'm glad to hear it. But he's got a daughter addicted to heroin or something else, and she can't kick it, and you guys are trying to get her to go to recovery, and she refuses to go.
Well, he's passed also.
You understand what I'm saying? So the father of your second husband, of the stepdaughter, yes?
Yes,
You have both of these guys who have crossed around you, yes?
yes.
When James died, James, right?
Mhm.
You weren't there. You had just missed it.
No, I was there.
Who walked out of the room then? Was his daughter not there?
No, she wasn't.
Oh, okay. So his own child was not there. Yes?
Two of them were and two of them aren't.
Let me say the statement again.
Okay.
This soul is telling me, his name is James, that some of his people really close to him were missing when he was dying.
Yes,
Either anger, distance, indifference, they were high, couldn't be dealt with. Whatever the variation was, his soul knows that people were missing. Yes or no?
yes.
Right. So to bring this back to you and then finish this up, you have parents coming, husbands coming, and the husband named James says he knew you before you married husband number one.
Yes.
I don't know you, Tricia. Where'd all of that information come from?
And
Through a
then
little photograph on a screen. Little video on the screen, a thumbnail up on the screen. And so come back to me. Debbie, let me hit Debbie for a minute. Tom? Debbie's muted, Tom.
I think I unmuted
Okay,
myself.
we're good. Okay, stay with me. If you were to talk with Tricia for a minute,
Hmm.
where are those people?
They're around her. They're with
Yeah.
her. They've never separated.
That's correct. And they're using me to interpret for them right now. This
Correct.
last little bit is whacked. This is whacked. This is crazy. I'm going to say something to you, but this is whacked. Did you knock out somebody's teeth?
me?
Yeah, you.
No.
Who had their teeth knocked out and you kept one of their teeth? Yeah. Do you have your father's? Oh, you said no initially. Everybody says no to me right away because they don't.
I didn't knock out anybody's teeth. My daughter was in an accident and had her teeth knocked out years
Who was
ago.
that? Who had her teeth knocked out?
My daughter.
Your mom.
My daughter.
Oh, your brother. Okay,
Daughter.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Let me see if I could get.
He's saying daughter.
Your biological daughter.
Yes.
Okay, which is not the stepdaughter.
No.
Okay. Did your daughter take a fall? Did she get hit with a lacrosse stick? Did she?
She was hit by a school bus.
Okay. Do you have her teeth home?
I have all my kids' baby teeth. I have,
Many people do. Many people do. Do you have her knocked out teeth?
no, they were reimplanted.
They put them back in again.
Yeah.
Do you have the x-rays of it or images of it? Your parents are telling me a story about their grandchild, apparently, that had her teeth knocked out.
Yeah, the only one that had her teeth knocked out was the one that was in the accident.
All right, stop right here.
Implanted them.
I want you to watch something, Trish. Tom, pay attention here. Daniela, did you have your teeth knocked out? Vanessa? Debbie? Rose? Tom? Trisha? You didn't have your teeth knocked out, but your daughter did. So your grandparents and your parents, your daughter's grandparents are giving me this brief movement saying, we love the one that had their teeth knocked out. Where does Margaret come in, Trisha?
I know a few Margarets.
No. Either Mary or Margaret. Who was that to you?
Margaret, here or past?
Past.
My sister-in-law,
That's your husband's sister.
my first husband's sister.
Crossed over.
Mhm.
So if somewhere in your mind, if I said to you, do you know that your husband has loved ones around him? Doesn't that sound so nice?
Yes.
Well, what's the proof?
Well, how would you know her name?
Correct. So there's a reference to Margaret coming in around her brother. And the woman with the aneurysms and the man with the ID bracelet is telling me about the granddaughter who had her teeth knocked out. Remember, I don't know you. Right?
Yep.
I'm not trying to impress anybody. That's an ego trip. I'm not interested. What I'm asking is, what I'm trying to have you witness is the miracle of contact. I'm going to go to Vanessa. Trisha, nice. Thank you for being so helpful. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
If you sit with other people, you like this kind of a process, I mean, enjoy other people too. But I'm strongly discouraging saying a thing. After I give it, or they give it, then you can say, I understand that. That's very specific. My daughter did have her teeth knocked out. Oh my God, that's crazy. Or something. It does, you can say, okay, that's fine. It doesn't have to be so crazy. Okay? Vanessa, I'm sorry to bother you, but I got to jump, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you too. Vanessa, please listen. This is not pleasant.
Okay.
You know, you represent a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And sometimes people, their crossings are not pleasant, yes?
Yes.
Okay. This is either with you or with Debbie, but it's only in this window.
Okay.
That's it. They're showing me gunshots. It's either with her or with you. But someone was murdered. Someone was shot to death. Yes? Deb? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, I haven't seen you in a dog's age. I do remember, I'm going back now, a long time ago.
10 years almost.
Okay. I do remember at that time, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you were dating a police officer or something.
Yes,
If my memory is correct, because I come out of a cop world myself, right? My
correct.
family is very right. So I'm a big back to blue dude. But there's a reference here to someone who is not just a law enforcement guy, but they're making me feel, because you see this crap on TV now in the modern era of law enforcement. These cops, these poor guys are like sitting ducks for these animals that shoot them. But there was something about the cop shot to death. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
See, this piece I don't remember. I do know you went out with a cop or something, you dated a cop. That much I do recall. I mean, you're going back 10 years. I've done 10,000 readings since then and today. Which,
Right.
okay. So with all respect to you, this is crazy. No, this is crazy.
Okay.
Oh my God. Before I do it, Daniela, come back, stay in the camera.
Mia,
Okay, I know you heard me talk about a cop and a shooting, yes?
correct.
Is there anything else that you could add to this before I do it? Tom just left. Tommy, where the hell did you go? He's gone. There he's back. So he gets nervous. If you can't, you can't. Don't worry, I'm not putting you on the spot. You're one of my students. And if you're picking up something, I want to help you. If you're not, that's fine. You say, Rob, I'm just paying attention right now. I'm not doing it.
The only thing I pick up is the name John.
I don't know if that's correct or not, but is the guy you're thinking of, John? Just yes or no?
Middle name.
Okay, so you're catching part of it then. But John's I'm not saying you're wrong, Danny. I'm not saying you're wrong. But
It's a common, but it is a common name. But
yes, it's
when you said that, I heard the name John, and
okay, which
but
means
I'm gonna go because I want to listen.
you just want to listen. Okay, I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I'm trying to help you. But you guys, please listen. Now, I know Debbie from years ago. So I think you and Donna came to,
Oh, yes. The two Donnas. Yes.
well, that's Donna DeVito you're talking about.
Right.
When you
Donna,
came,
yeah.
you came to the karate school here like 6 months
Yeah.
ago.
Not that long ago.
Yeah. I remember that was Donna.
Yes.
I remember. But this didn't come up then, but I just want to tell you what's going on. So listen to the story, everybody. There's a reference to a police officer that was shot and murdered. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. It wasn't just an accidental shooting. This was a murder. Either he was in a car walking down the street, something happened, and a bad guy killed him. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. If you're coming out of a cop family like I do and others do, it is not uncommon for people to have shields. People get shields, right? They call them courtesy tins. You put them in your handbag, you put them in your wallet, and you flip it to a cop so you don't get a ticket or some shit. And they're like little ceremonial things. They give them out quite often. Years ago, they were very hard to get. Now you can go to a jewelry store and basically buy one if you want it bad enough. Today, you need a PBA card with the signature and the shield name and the guy's name and his phone number. And maybe you'll get out of a ticket. Maybe. But who knows? I don't know anymore. Things are upside down. But there's a reference here to a police officer shot, but it doesn't present itself to me as just a guy that you were friendly with or just a friend of. They make me feel either you were living with him or you were going to marry him. There is something about the love relationship between him and you.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
So it's not just a cousin or a guy you work with in a health club or something.
No.
To be a cop and you know him. He makes me feel that we were an item.
Yes.
We were close. Yes.
Yes.
But he keeps whispering in my head, like shh, shh, like this sound almost, which is my reference to whatever friendship you may have had with him, whatever this may be. He's either very private, very personal, very discretionary. There was something about it. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. This is public, so we always have to be careful, even if it's
Yes.
about Trish's dad. I always say, shh, this is public. You know, if someone's got a heroin addiction, this is public. Be careful. You don't want to blab this all over the internet because you want people to, oh, he's so good. The hell with that crap. You got to protect your client.
Yes.
Well, you have to protect your client. Question, Deborah, respectfully, do you have a shield connected to this guy?
Yes.
Hold on.
Okay.
When my father retired, he had to submit his shield.
Right.
When my father retired, he had to submit his service revolver, but he had a separate one for home.
Right.
Different.
Hmm.
So do you have this man's actual physical shield?
Yes,
So you actually have his shield, not some necklace with a little badge or some crap. You have his shield,
yes.
not his family or his mom or dad or somebody
Nope.
else. So you
No.
acquired it through your closeness together. You acquired it because of your relationship with each other. I'm taking this to be.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
this part is bugging me. This better be
Okay.
wrong. Now, this better be wrong. Were you not permitted to go to his funeral?
That's
Did he-
that's a harsh
Okay.
way to put it, but yes. Oh,
Harsh?
Yes,
Well, I mean, you may have been medically not allowed to go. You may have had COVID. You may have had other issues. You may have been out of town. You may have been committed to a contract of work and you couldn't break the deal. You know, I don't mean to make it, did I come across harsh?
no, not you harsh, but
You said it's a harsh way of putting it. Oh,
go ahead.
let me
You're
just see
not
what I'm
harsh.
saying. Let me just see what I'm tell you what I'm saying.
Okay,
I'm only speaking out of my own family, right? I've had so many police officers in my family that have died. I mean, I'm talking all my own, I've at least 10, not including my father, at least 10 others. My one uncle was the police commissioner of the NYPD, for Christ's sakes.
right.
Right? I mean, I come from a big cop culture, huge. I've been to more funerals than I care to count. But there's a lot of people in the church. There's cop cars outside. They have the pipers playing in the outside of the church. This is for my father, by the way. We had an escort. When my uncle died, they shut down the Verrazano Bridge for my uncle. They shut down the whole bridge for my uncle who served. You know what I'm saying? So as a person standing, like, you know, looking around at the crowd, you may have done that, or you may have visited at separate times or something. But were you not part of the family as a being with the family?
Correct.
Okay. Because he's making me feel he was looking for you, and either this thing meant that you were there, but you weren't there, or you were there in a very bland way, as it were. I don't mean to be impolite.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Somewhere along the line, you acquired this guy's service shield, which is normally turned in or is given to the wife or given to the kids by the department if they allow for that.
Right.
Now, I don't know what structure, what job, what county, where he worked, the city, I have no idea. But if you're telling me you acquired his personal shield, which is a very unusual thing, did someone ask you for that shield back?
No,
So
it was given to me after. It was given to me after.
by the police department?
No,
Okay, I'm not trying to get information, but you didn't leave it
I
on your
just-
dresser and forgot it. You were
No.
giving that because
yes,
the relationship with him meant enough to you, and it was obvious to them and to you and
yes,
to him that you were like something close.
yes.
That's it. That's it.
Yep.
Stay with me. Then I'm going to jump again. I'm going back
Okay.
up to Vanessa. Don't mind my faces. Have you written a book,
Have I written one?
or have
Not-
you read a book about him?
Yes.
Listen to me.
Okay.
I know I'm weird. I'm weird. Not every cop that's been shot, because now there's way too many
Correct.
that are now included in an author's work. There is a time in public when shooting a police officer, it was front page, like the world stopped to find the cop killer. And they may have memorialized a couple of these great police officers in certain books written by either other cops or the NYPD or some reporter put out a publication, and it has included in it this police guy, right?
Right.
Okay, I'm just asking. So if you're telling me that the guy that you were in love with had a relation, whatever, it almost feels husband and wife to me. I mean, that's how it feels. But you may have not legally married him, but you may have been headed that direction. And his life was interrupted by violence, and you got the phone call from hell or whatever.
Mhm.
And you have his shield, and he was murdered as a cop in the line of duty. And they have dumped his story into a book. Do you have that book at home?
Yes,
Is it near your bed? Is it in your bedroom?
yes.
Oh, so why, Rose Gagliardi, would I mention that to her? Let Rose loosen up. It's like Big Brother up there, isn't he? Talk, not talk. So we're gonna leave Debbie on. We're gonna put Rose on. There you go. Rose,
Yes.
what would be the meaning of the book near her bed or in her bedroom that has in it an accurate accounting or a story or a generously memorialized hero that served a police department? It could be the city, it could be, I have no, he's not showing me that, but I'm guessing it's the city. It feels like city to me.
Mhm.
That he was written about in a book, and it's in her bedroom. What would that mean to her?
Well, he's with her.
Yeah, yeah. And the fact that she owns his shield, and the fact that after apparently these many years, 10 years at least, a decade ago, the love continues. So she can never be without him. She can never lose him. Now, that's easy to say, but when you want to hug somebody or hold somebody or kiss somebody and they're not there, it'll break your heart. There's no question about it. Yes or no, Deb?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, is he placed in the earth?
Yes.
Were you just there?
Recently. Yes.
Let me say that comment again. Were you just
Yes.
there?
Yes.
I'm a pain in the ass. So rather than
Yes.
say, well, listen how I state this. If I said, did you ever visit his grave? Of course you have. Unless you're made out of stone. Of course you're going to pay your respects. Even if he was buried in California, you say, I'm going to go out one time and pay my respects to this guy. But he's probably buried locally, or maybe in Brooklyn or Queens or Nassau out here. I don't know. I have no idea. Out in Suffolk, who the hell knows? I don't know. But if you're telling me you drop flowers or you tear on his soil or you kiss the headstone or you put a rock or you something, you put a Easter palm there or something, right?
Yes.
I mean, come on, right? Then over 10 years, you might say, well, I used to do it. I don't do it anymore. I took off for 5 or 6 years. That's you. And now all of a sudden it's risen up again, my emotions, and I wanted to go visit his grave.
Right.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Why would I know any of this?
Because you're serving as a conduit for the information he's telling you.
Yeah. Yes, that's the result. The question is how? That's the result. You say. So I'm going to go off you, Miss Deborah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
What was his name? I don't remember. I don't remember it, but what was his name?
Peter.
Peter. So it was Peter John from my friend Daniela, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Well, I want to be helpful to her because
No, of course.
she's developing and I want to re-encourage her. So if you picked up the middle name, but the first name kind of blew by you, it happens. I didn't even get the friggin' name. Right?
I was hearing Thomas too. Thomas and
How do you know it's for her, Danny?
because I don't know how I know. Because I guess I was just
Is it correct?
It's a close friend of his.
Well,
and something
And
about
very
like,
close. There's
his-
a very close connection.
stay with me, stay with me. Now, again, I'm not trying to minimize what you're doing, Danny. All right. So please understand me.
Sure.
Thomas is a common name, right? We all have friends called Thomas.
Yeah.
Close friends. I got friends,
Right.
Thomas, that are very close for me.
There's a few things that I guess I was hearing something about a Thomas and also I don't know. I just kept hearing something about survivor's guilt. So I kept hearing the word survivor's guilt. So that makes me feel like somebody was with him at the time he was shot and they made it and he did not. Is that right?
That's correct.
So would that be his partner, like his
Yes.
police partner? Because
Correct.
what he's making me feel is that his partner is living with survivor's guilt.
Yes, for a very long time.
And I also
Yes.
see something about like a praying hands tattoo. Do you know like the praying hands tattoo?
Oh,
when
yeah.
there's rosary?
Yes, I know what that means. Yes.
Did he have that, or did his partner have that tattoo? Do you
His
know?
partner does.
I think he's very concerned about his partner and the guilt that he's feeling. I feel like that's the
Yes.
way he was. I know Robert was pulling to one thing, but I was pulling to his partner for some reason. Like I feel like he wants to get a message across to his partner. Not now, Sean, please.
Okay, I'm gonna interrupt you, Danny. Hang in. And I'm not doing this to minimize anything. Is that your son?
Yes, at the wrong time. Sorry.
All right, he's only a little. How old is he?
He's 5.
Be
Aw.
patient. He loves his mother, right?
I know he does. Yes.
This computer is an opponent to him from his mother's attention, right?
Yes.
I'll read again, but I'm here to help you a little bit. This is people that,
Sure.
3 out of 5 of you. So can you unmute Vanessa, Tom? I want you to read her for 1 minute.
Okay.
I'm not asking you to do jumping jacks. I'm just asking you to read it.
I know, but I get nervous.
I'm nervous too,
nervous.
so I'm like extremely nervous, so you don't have to feel nervous.
I feel like I'm here, I'm still here. I just have to I want to make sure my phone is charged. There's a reference to a teacher in the family. I don't know if that's you or somebody in
It has to be to her. Only read her. And let me help you with something.
Sure.
I'm asking you politely to drop this comment. I don't know.
Okay. Right away, when I try and focus on Vanessa, the first thing that I saw was a pencil, a number 2 pencil and a paper. So to me, that means something to do with education or teacher in the family. Again, another common name I know, but I hear the name Rose, Rosa, Rosie, something like that.
30 seconds. I'll give you 30 more seconds. Go ahead.
Okay.
Nothing like pressure, right?
A lot of pressure.
I'm giving you pressure.
The name Rose, Rosa, Rosie, the pen and pencil. I find that like when I talk, if I stop, it goes away. But if I keep talking, it helps it. So the pen and pencil, to me, that means that there's a teacher connected to you somewhere. The person that I'm feeling like if it's a soul, feels female to me, feels like it's a woman.
I'm going to interrupt you, Danny. All right?
Yes.
I don't mean to be rude, sweetheart. I'm not trying to, but I got to read a little bit myself. Is that okay? Yeah, I don't want to be rude to you. You're so lovely, and I know you're trying to blossom, and I'm trying to help you out a little bit, give you a little of my time for your time, right? Is that okay, girls? Is that okay, everybody? Tom, is that cool? Well, I want to build this community, so if it's just me lecturing to you guys, it's going to get stale real fast. All right, now, Vanessa,
Yeah.
she's developing, so we're not judging her, even though she's vaping while we're doing this, right? So her focus is in that goddamn vape pen, I'll throw it out, right? So now, in most families,
Yes,
people have school teachers.
yes.
My mother was a school teacher. I was a school teacher. My oldest daughter was a school teacher. I'm not minimizing the school teacher thing, but it's extremely common.
Somebody about like lap band surgery. Do you
Okay,
know?
no,
Like,
I thought we were not going to discuss anything else.
all right.
Go back to vaping.
Okay.
All right, if you can, Daniela, don't say anything, okay?
I won't.
And if we have an opportunity at the very end, I'll let you flash back in if we have time.
Okay.
We've probably got about 10, 15 minutes left. Let me make this comment to you guys before I continue. I've mentioned a friend of mine in public over the years. You may have heard me mention it when you saw me, John Edward, right? Some of you may have heard of John. Maybe you haven't heard of John. I don't know. But in his heyday, he was a very, very popular guy. And when he would go to Westbury or go to the Hilton Hotel or go to on stage, he would put in 2,000 or 3,000 people. It would be like a rock star. right? And he would go to Westbury. Has anybody ever seen him at Westbury? None of you? Rose, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just need one person to vouch. Oh, okay, Tricia also. You go into the building, there is about 2,000 to 3,000 people to watch this guy. And he does 6 readings and he goes home. 6 readings takes an hour and a half to 2 hours if it's done properly. Why the hell would 3,000 people go someplace to watch 6 readings? It makes no sense. If you're thinking about it from a logical point of view, the odds of being read are 1 in 500, like the lottery. But the truth of it is because your soul wants to bear witness to the miracle of contact. That's what's happening right here, right now, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Even though Thomas is, quote, working, he's included. You follow me? So, Miss Vanessa, let me come back to you. This is a little unusual. It's a little unpleasant for me as a man. But
Okay.
I gotta ask, okay, with respect.
Yes.
Was there a woman that had a breast augmentation done or had some kind of an unusual breast development?
Oh gosh, I don't.
Who had the cyst? Who had the surgery under their breast wall? It's right.
No, I know. I'm trying to think.
I don't want you to make it fit, sweetheart.
No, I know. I'm just.
Did somebody have a breast augmented? Did someone have a modification in breast? You're sure?
I'm really trying to think.
Oh, no. I don't want you to try to make it fit. If it's wrong, say, Robert, I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with you because
Yeah,
I'm seeing it,
yeah.
but it doesn't make me right. It makes you right. Until I prove differently, I'm wrong. Well, come on, let's be fair about this.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to push this again.
Okay.
You sure that someone either didn't have a mastectomy that went sideways or someone had breast cancer that was identified and they had to do a biopsy and something went sideways? There was something about the damage to one breast. Are you sure? It's
Such a personal topic, so it's so hard to. I don't know that anybody would have told me.
okay. A lot of people would know. My mom's had surgery to her breast. My sister had breast cancer. You would know.
Yeah, I
Did
guess.
someone have breast cancer?
Not that I know.
And no one didn't have anything, or there wasn't a young woman that breast didn't develop evenly or the same? I'm going to push. There's a little more with you.
Yeah.
We have to kind of bring this.
I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. Stop it. This is my burden, not your burden. Did somebody else in your family, unless I misunderstand this, did somebody go to the dentist and they discovered something in their mouth? Someone have throat cancer, cancer of the tongue or of the mouth?
My dad lost teeth.
No, not it.
No.
No, unless he lost them because of illness. Unless, because, he with Trisha, her daughter had her teeth knocked out by a school bus.
They were rotted.
It's not it. Nope.
Trying to think of someone else.
Okay, last little push here.
I'm so sorry.
Stop. Who raised someone else's child?
I don't know if this counts,
I'll
but
let you-
I say that my grandfather was more of a father to me than my own dad.
Let's stay with me. If you lived with your grandfather, or if he was constantly around you,
Constantly around.
picking you up from school, you
He
cry
went to
in his
his
arms. If his son, is that your mom's dad or your dad's dad?
My mom's dad.
So if your mother's father said, my beautiful granddaughter is not being well attended to, her own father is really not in her world, other than the fact that he's got bad teeth. No disrespect.
No.
If you're telling me your grandfather helped raise you, I need to know that.
Essentially, yes.
If someone asked you to go to a school play, who would show up, your grandfather or your father?
More likely my grandfather.
Why do you say that?
My dad was there, but my grandfather was the one I counted on.
Why is that?
We just had a stronger bond.
And I'm not trying to make you feel good,
No,
but I'm just asking. I'm a little bit of a pest with this stuff. I'm telling you, you're missing something significant. And
Okay,
it comes through your grandfather who's crossed, yes?
yeah.
Through that man, are you sure? If you don't, I don't know if you know his family or not. I don't know. If you don't know, then the answers will be no right across the board.
Right.
But they're making me feel there was a woman that had her breast damaged. Either it was burned, it was surgically removed improperly. They found something else underneath her breast wall, something. Does anybody understand this? I'm just asking. Anyone? None of you recognize this. Go ahead, Tricia, tell me why. Tom, you got to unmute her. I didn't mean to wake you up there, Tom. Go ahead, Trish.
I have a cousin who I'm very close with that had breast cancer and a terrible reconstruction, had to have the reconstruction.
My mistake. My apology. My apology. It's
And
hard.
I also raised my 2 stepsons.
That's it. My apologies. I thought it was you. I'm off by one seat. You
That's
know,
fine.
I'm off by a seat. You know what I'm saying? I'm off by once. My apologies.
No, no.
It's my apologies. So Tricia, please listen. If you're telling me you have someone that close to you who had breast cancer, had reconstruction work, and it was a nightmare, and she still felt uncomfortable removing her top, still felt uncomfortable in a bikini, remained hidden and private all the time, which is understandable for a woman. It's very sensitive, very personal. Yes?
Mhm.
You want to feel like you can present yourself healthily to the world, especially the privacy of another person, right?
Yes,
Which is natural and normal. Who is this to you?
my cousin.
Crossed over?
No,
Also, you speaking to her? Do you see her?
spoke
When
to her
did you-
yesterday.
Say that again.
I spoke to her yesterday.
That's it. All right. So if you're telling me I misunderstood, Vanessa, I'm sorry. But if you're telling me as a fact, you saw yesterday, spoke to yesterday,
Yes,
a woman who had a botched mastectomy or a botched reconstruction for a mastectomy, and it still leaves her scarred, talking about it. Did you speak with her about it yesterday? How are you healing?
not
How are
about
you
that.
recovering?
We've spoken about it before.
I'm sure. If you were to meet her in the privacy of your bedroom and she took off her top and showed it to you, right?
Well, it's fixed now, but it took a long time.
Okay, so she went through that,
Yes,
like the TV show Botched or whatever. Right?
yes.
All right, so here's the last comment. Can we put everybody back on, Tom? Is that okay? Because we're gonna finish this up. You guys enjoyed this tonight? Even though I didn't get to you, I understand everybody wants to be read. I get it. Right? So let me just finish this piece up. And you may have heard me comment before. I've commented about this quite a bit in my work. Many people have used the expression, it's a matter of life and death, right? It's very common. You know, life or death, life or death, life or death. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So the truth of it is, the term, it's a matter of life or death, is completely wrong. It has never, ever been true. Because the opposite of death is not life. The opposite of death is birth. Right? Your grandfather had a birthday. He had the dash, his experiences as a granddad, and then he had his death day. Yes or no? My dog had a birthday. He has experiences. One day he will have a death day. Yes, if you go to any cemetery, any crematorium, any Jewish synagogue, you will see their birthday, the dash, and their death day. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Are you with me? So the term life or death is incorrect and very misleading. It is birth and death. So lady, Thomas, if birth and death are the biological opposites, right? The same opposites the oak tree has, the same opposites the elephant has, the same opposites the bird in the window has. They have a birth, they have a nest, and one day the bird dies. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
all clear? So are we in agreement that birth and death are the opposites? Are we in agreement?
Yes,
Then what
Yeah.
is the opposite of life?
there isn't.
There is not, which means there is no such thing as the afterlife. There is no such thing as an afterlife. It is only what happens after death. So when people claim and talk about the afterlife, they don't know what they are speaking of. They have acquired that term because if they really understood this, they would sound just like me. They would say there is no afterlife. Life has no opposite. Life has no ending. It is like saying, where does space end? Where does the sky stop? Where does love end? Deborah, where does love end for this guy, Peter?
It doesn't.
Of
It's
course not.
eternal.
It's eternal. There is no death to the love. There was death to the heroic police officer, but there is no death to love. You can never lose your grandfather, Vanessa. It is not possible. Trish, you cannot lose your husbands. It's not possible. And to say they're around you is what we did in the reading session to try to make these comments, which seem to come out of nowhere, very specific. These are called validations, and it comes through the gift of discernment. This is what happens. Okay? Next week is a big topic. What the hell is that?
It's my son. I'm gonna mute myself. I'm sorry.
No,
My
it's
son's
okay.
playing Army.
Let
Sorry.
him play. Let him play. I'm not upset. I just-
He's introducing next week.
I
Yeah,
don't want, I don't want to
next
just.
week- Next
Right.
week is the topic about acceptance. That's a huge, huge, huge spiritual topic. I encourage you to come. Perhaps others may come along and join our site. We're going to do some great stuff together. And I encourage you to try to make time to be here with me next week. We do these readings every month. We do a lot of topics. I've got podcasts. I've got daily thoughts. I've got all kinds of stuff that we're doing. Tom is helping me. My office staff is helping me. We're really trying to touch base with you guys so you can enjoy this experience. It's very personal. For a big $10 a month, you can't go wrong. Right or wrong?
Right.
Yeah.
We're talking
Right.
pennies. And we are doing it because we want to help people. It's a service to the world. I don't know how else to put it. That's the only reason why I'm doing it.
Yes.
Okay? All right. Don't yell at him.
I'm not yelling at.
If you yell at him, I'm yelling at you. Don't yell at the
No,
little-
I'm not yelling. I love him. He's a
All
good.
right. I'm a pain in the ass. I love children. It's just my nature.
They know he is good. He's a good kid.
God's grace, never forget.
Yes.
And last comment, you have kids, Vanessa? No? Okay. Are you unable to have children? Oh, there you are. Who are you? What's your name?
Sean,
What's your name?
Sean,
John? You're John?
Name is Sean.
Oh, Sean.
hey John.
Nobody calls you Sean.
A lot of people, when they learn my name, they say John.
Okay. And what is that? So who is that soldier?
It's better than just a soldier. It's a G.I. Joe.
No, I lost my head over here. G.I. Joe. Oh my goodness. All right. Can I talk to mommy for 1 second? Danielle, is he going for speech?
No, he's not going to speech, but he gets extra help for other things, though.
No, I can feel it.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
has hearing stuff.
That's it. Listen,
Yeah.
can I just throw out I worked in that field for a very, very long time.
Of course, yes.
Have him have speech therapy.
Okay, I will.
Have it done. Don't tell me you're just gonna do it, not do it.
No, I will. I just sent the paperwork into the Department of Ed for like
That's my
extra
girl.
help. He's
You're a
got
good mom.
very sensitive hearing and I don't know, hearing stuff.
Feel it in my skin.
Yeah, yeah.
make sure he gets taken care of. You're a great mom. I really
Yeah.
applaud you. I know you're a single parent, and it's a lot for you.
Yeah.
But I really admire and respect that in you. It's great to see.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
and
you.
Tommy, thank you for all your help tonight. I'm sorry I took you guys later than I normally do, but we're friends, you know, and my work here is out of respect to Debbie and Trish and the people.
Guys,
here.
I
Okay? All right, good
All
night.
right,
Have
good
fun with
night.
the soldiers.
Good
Tommy,
night.
let's work out. All right, did we cover everything?
We're
Tommy, did
good.
I get everything covered?
Whoop.
We're all good.
We're all good.
Awesome.
Yay,
Love you guys. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody.
thank you.
Bye.
Have a great night.
Thank you.